So today we are going to keep talking about WH words, WH questions, right? So we talked about the words who, what, when, where, why, and how. So we're going to do some kind of reading practice where we're going to read a sentence and we're going to answer the question about it. So the first one is, oh, my screen is in the way. Okay, I'll be down here. So the question is, or it's not really a question, but the sentence that we're going to read is, you can read it by yourself, you can pause the video, read it by yourself, or you can read it with me. Melinda is not coming to work today. She is sick. Okay, so we know that, Melinda is not coming, right? It's a continuous verb. Coming to work today, she is sick. So we know this, but now we're going to ask the question, who? Who? And that's all the question is who. And we know that when the word who is asking about people. So is there any person in this sentence? Who is it talking about? It's talking about a person. It's talking about Melinda. So the answer is Melinda. Melinda is not coming to work today. She is sick. Who? Who are they talking about? Melinda. So the next question, it's the same sentence, right? Melinda is not coming to work today. She is sick. But now the question is, what is happening? So remember that what is asking, it's talking about a time, it's talking about an action, it's talking about an event. What is happening? So we got to think, okay, so what's the action that's going on in this sentence? What is happening, right? So we know that the verb in this sentence that's continuous is coming, right? Coming. So we know something is happening. Melinda is not coming to work today. So that's what's happening. Melinda is not coming to work. That's the answer. Because what is happening? What's the action? Even though it didn't ask who, we know that the action that's happening is not coming to work today, but we need to add who is not coming to explain the action that's happening, right? Because if we say what is happening, we have to talk about the person that it's happening to, right? Melinda is not coming to work today. What is happening? Melinda is not coming to work. So the next one, it's the same sentence. Melinda is not coming to work today. She is sick. When? When is this happening? And remember that when means time. So when? When? And it's today, right? So the time that it gives, it doesn't give, at 4 o'clock or a date like, in October. It's saying, when the time that's in the sentence is today, right? That's a way to talk about time. Today, tomorrow, yesterday, right? So the answer is today. Today is the answer here. I'm going to get my pen just to help. Okay, so the next question, same sentence. Melinda is not coming to work today. She is sick. Why? Now remember, why is an explanation. It's talking about, it's explaining why the event is happening, right? And I keep using the word why, and I'm sorry if it's not helpful to you because I just keep saying the word, but why is explaining. We need to explain the reason why, right? Why is an explanation of the reason that something is happening. So what is the reason that Melinda is not coming to work today? Well, it says that she is sick, right? And that's a reason to not go to work, right? Because you're sick. So the answer is she is sick. Melinda is not coming to work today. Why? What's the reason? She is sick. So now this is a new sentence. It says, please leave the report in my office, right? So this is something somebody could say to you at work, right? Oh, can you please leave the report in my office? What? What? Right? What is being said? What is happening? The report. So the person says, please leave the report in my office, right? They're asking you to do something. But what is it that they're asking you to leave in the office? What is it? It's the report. The report is what you are leaving. Please leave the report in my office. Same sentence. Where do we leave the report? In the office. So the sentence says in my office, but if somebody's saying it to you, like your boss, if your boss says, please leave the report in my office, it means that they're saying, you know, put it in their office, in the office, right? So where do you leave? Where is place, right? When we say where, we're asking about place. And the place that you leave the report is in the office. Now this sentence, Julia is grabbing the supplies right now. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard the verb grabbing before, but grab is like if something is like sitting there and you take it, that's grab, right? It's the action of grabbing. She's grabbing. So in English, when we say, oh, someone is getting something or somebody is taking something, you can say grab. Oh, I grabbed a snack, or I grabbed lunch, right? I'm grabbing dinner. When we say grab, it just means to go get or to take, right? It's just something that a lot of native English speakers use instead of saying take or get. So Julia is grabbing the supplies right now. Who? Who is it? The person? Julia. That was easy, right? We know that Julia is the person in the sentence. There's the only person in the sentence, right? So who? We need a person. The answer is Julia. Julia is grabbing the supplies right now. What is she doing? What is the action she's doing? And if we go up and we look, you'll see that this is asking the verb, right? What is she doing? What is the action that is happening? And we look for the verb that has the action, grabbing, right? What is she doing? She is grabbing the supplies, right? That's what she's doing. She's grabbing the supplies. That's what she's doing. Now, if we have the same sentence, Julia is grabbing the supplies right now. When? Now remember, when is asking about time, right? Is there a time in this sentence? There is right now. So the answer is right now. So if somebody was like, oh, where did Julia go? And you say, oh, Julia is grabbing the supplies. And they're like, oh, when is she grabbing them? You could say, oh, right now. Right now, she's grabbing them right now. Now the next one is Angelique is getting a ride to work from Maria. Now the question is, who is getting a ride? Now, so we know that who is talking about people, but the other part of this question is asking about who is getting a ride. Who is the person that is getting picked up by the other person? So let's start by finding all the people in the sentence, right? So we know that Angelique is a person, right? And we know that Maria is a person. So that answers who, right? Who means we're talking about people, and we found the people in the sentence. But now we need to figure out who is the one that is getting a ride. So one of the easy ways to answer this question is you look at the sentence that we have, right, in the question, who is getting a ride? And then you look for those words in the sentence, right? Angelique is getting a ride to work from Maria. So the way the sentence is set up in English, the answer is Angelique is getting a ride right? So who is getting a ride? Angelique. Angelique is getting a ride, right? And it says, you know, from Maria, meaning Maria is the one that is giving the ride to Angelique. So the next question, how is Angelique getting to work? So remember that how is kind of that harder question where, you know, why is when we explain the reason for something's happening, but how is what we use to talk about like the steps. How do we do this, right? How do I drive a car? How do I get my paycheck? How is asking, okay, what are the steps that are going to happen? So how is Angelique getting to work? How is she getting there? Is she taking the bus? Is she walking? How is she getting there? Because walking or taking the bus, or what the answer is getting a ride, is explaining, you know, she gets to work by getting in the car, getting a ride to work, or she walks to work. It's telling you how, right? So Angelique is getting a ride to work from Maria. How is Angelique getting to work? And the answer is Angelique is getting a ride from Maria. So that's the answer. Now, that one, we can answer this one. It's kind of a bit of a, well, I'll just show you this one. So I wanted to show you a picture and show you how sometimes these questions can be, you can answer them in different ways. So for example, this picture, it's pretty clear what happened, right? What happened? What was the action that happened? Well, there was a car accident. This is a car accident. But sometimes, and we'll talk about this in the next lesson, but sometimes when somebody asks what happened, they're not asking, you know, how did this, they're not saying, you know, what happened, and you have to say, oh, there was a car accident. Sometimes when people say what happened, they mean to ask you, how did it happen? Like they want an explanation. So if there was a car accident and you saw it and the police are asking you to tell them what happened, you wouldn't say, oh, a car accident, that's what happened. They know that a car accident happened. What they want to know is how it happened. So you have to explain the order of things that happened. So you'd have to say, oh, well, this car was going to turn left and the other car was coming straight and they turned into each other and the car accident happened. So sometimes when someone says, what happened? They mean, how did this happen? They want an explanation. Sometimes they want why did this happen? So in English, what is used almost the same as why or how, and it just takes time to learn what people mean when they're asking what happened. Because if they ask you what happened and they can see the end result, right? What happened in the end, which is a car accident. So they show up, they see the car accident and they go, oh, what happened? They already know that a car accident happened, right? They can see it. When they say what happened, they want to know, how did it happen? Was there somebody that was on their phone and texting and they hit another person? Was there like a dog in the road and they swerved to miss it and they hit another car? That kind of stuff. So that's it for today. And tomorrow we'll kind of talk about speaking practice. And I know that speaking is hard because I'm not there to talk to you and you can't talk to me. But I will just kind of show you some of the different ways to talk to people about, when they ask you these kinds of questions, and how you can ask these kinds of questions and get the information that you want.